Hey, how's it going? I'm your host, Peter Vryonis, alongside host Nick Gosse. Today, we're just going to be previewing the World Baseball Classic and just talk a little bit about our overall impressions on spring training. Thanks to each and every one of you that's in here right now. We expect it to pick up in a little bit, but I'm super excited for the World Baseball Classic. It's one of my favorite tournaments just in sports to watch, so I'm pumped up for that.
Yeah, it's very, very exciting. And yeah, spring training has been very busy as well. So we're going to be focusing on the World Baseball Classic today, but we'll also be touching on some of the Jays players that have been doing very well so far. We'll get up the stats for all of them. What's up, Owen? Limousine. But yeah, a lot to get into. And we don't know how long the stream will go for. We'll see. It depends on, what the situation's like. But do you have any Jays or players in general you're looking forward to seeing on a few days when the World Baseball Classic starts?
Definitely Otto Lopez. I mean, he's going to be playing shortstop for Team Canada, and of course, uh, of course, we're going to be, monitoring that pretty closely. Desan Brown is going to be playing for Canada as well. Freddie Freeman. It's always great to see him represent his parents' country of birth. So it's just a great tournament. The intensity is off the charts, and as much as I love the Jays, as much as I love watching them get amped up in spring training, nothing beats the intensity of a World Baseball Classic game in March. You will never see that in spring training. You know, superstar players going all out. So it can't be beat, and I love it. It's just a great tournament.
Yeah, and
How
unfortunately,
about you? Who are you looking forward to? Which players do you want to see?
I would
Could
have
be from any team.
I would have said Vladdy, obviously, but he is withdrawn officially. So I guess Jose Barrios now is probably the one guy who I'm
Okay.
curious to see. And we'll go through the rosters for a few different teams, but Jose Barrios is a guy who I don't know. We're excited to see him for the Blue Jays, obviously, but now for on World Baseball Classic, we'll see how he's actually able to go up against some real competition. Maury's saying, "I wish my nephew Ricky Tiedemann was playing."
Mm.
I also wish Ricky Tiedemann was playing. If it is your actual nephew, that is very, very
Well,
interesting.
if it is your nephew, we'd love to get him on here and talk to him for maybe 15 to 20 minutes. That'd be great. Yeah.
Owen saying, "What's the whole list of everyone that's playing and spring training World Baseball Classic? Pick one. We'll do like half and half for this stream. We'll focus on World Baseball Classic for the first bit, and then we'll get into
Well,
some.
we can start with the Canada roster
Yep.
here that I got pulled up.
Yep.
I mean, the notable guys that are going to be playing are obviously Cal Quantrill, who's going to be the ace of the team. Don't know how much he's going to pitch, how many innings. Matt Brash is there as well. Former Blue Jay John Axford is another notable name. He's a little bit older now. I think he's going to be 40 once this tournament starts. So that's interesting. Bo Naylor, the younger brother of Josh Naylor, who also plays for the Guardians. Freddie Freeman, he's the headliner of this team. He's the superstar of this team. So they'll go as far as Freddie Freeman takes them. Otto Lopez, of course, and Desan Brown, just a bunch of big names. Tyler O'Neill as well. Russell Martin is one of the coaches too, so that's interesting. And they have the potential to surprise some teams here.
Yeah, Russell Martin, him coaching is very, very interesting. Cal Quantrill, obviously a very, very good pitcher, but I don't know how far do you think they're gonna go? Do you think they'll? Do you think they're
I
obviously
think
in a
they're
tough
out. I think
bracket?
they're out in the
Yeah.
first round. Yeah, I think Mexico and the U.S. are going to go through, but I don't think the U.S. is going to win the tournament. I think Japan should be the favorite to win this tournament because I saw this video. They got like three guys in their rotation that throw over 100 miles an hour, which is absolutely nuts. They have one guy who plays in the Japanese league who tops 105. So it's just going to be great to see. It's just too bad they're playing really early. They're playing at like 5 a.m. when they do play, so it's going to be tough to follow them.
Yeah, let's go over the Team Canada. I'll get it open here now for the desktop view. We are here now, and you can kind of see, like you kind of just mentioned, most of them. John Axford, of course, is playing. He's pretty. He used to play for the Blue Jays. Obviously, good time. Matt Brash, like you said, and everyone you can go down through here. Freddie Freeman, Cal Quantrill is the biggest name, obviously, for Team Canada, and they have some other people as well. Bo Naylor, like you said, is kind of a very, very interesting player. And Freddie Freeman,
Yeah.
yeah, he's going to be the highlight of the tournament for Team Canada, as well as Otto Lopez, who's played very well for the Blue Jays, and Abraham Torres, as well, who's a
hmm
fairly decent major league player.
Yeah, exactly. They got a lot of options, and of course Tyler O'Neill, who's going to offer some protection to Freddie Freeman in that lineup. So it's going to be interesting. Yeah, Rashid over here is saying Roki for Japan. I think that's the guy. I think that's the guy that hit 105, if I'm not
I'll
mistaken.
pop up the Japan
Uh,
roster here. You can see you Darvish, lots of different players, and yeah, one of them did hit 105. One of the closers, Shohei
yeah,
Ohtani here.
Roki Sasaki. That's the guy.
Yep,
That's the guy.
he's looking. They're looking very, very good. They are looking very, very good, and obviously Shohei Ohtani is playing the best player in
Hmm.
baseball. I guess you can. There's no real argument at this point. The best two way,
He's the best.
yeah,
He's
the
the
best
best.
player in baseball, and he's gonna be very, very interesting. And then we can move over here to Puerto Rico, which is where Jose Barrios is playing. Where they have Edwin Diaz, Jose Barrios, of course, Alexis Diaz, Jorge Lopez. They got some. They got some interesting.
Marcus Stroman.
Marcus Stroman's another big one. They have a pretty
Hmm.
Team Canada's a bit weak, I think, is what Martin Maldonado and
They
Christian
are.
Vasquez both very good with, and they're stacked at the catcher position. But Javi Baez as well. Gee,
Hmm.
they're looking
Yeah,
very.
no, Canada, if everyone played, I think they would be able to compete very well in the tournament. But, guys like Jordan Romano tend want to play for Italy as opposed to Canada. Although he's not going to be going to the WBC, it just shows you that Canada baseball is not taken seriously by the major league players. Josh Naylor is not playing. Who's another name that's slipping my mind here? I don't know. There are a
There's a
lot of
lot.
major
Yeah,
league players from Canada, and they're choosing to not represent them in the World Baseball Classic. So hopefully that changes in the future, but for the moment, it is what it is.
yeah. I was
Joey
saying,
Votto.
Joey Votto, I never knew Abraham Toro was Canadian. I don't
He's
think
from
that was for.
Montreal.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah,
Yeah. He is Canadian from Montreal. Yeah, and
yeah.
a decent player. It's funny that brothers Bo and Josh Naylor are playing on two completely different teams. Yeah, yeah, that is pretty odd. And Josh Naylor's a
They
very
both
good
play
player.
for the Guardians, don't they?
I think he
They play
means
for the
I
Guardians.
think he means national teams.
Who's Josh Naylor playing for? He's not playing.
Yeah, maybe isn't. At least we have Freddie though. Yeah, Freddie's gonna
Yeah.
be very, very. Again, if Freddie doesn't play well, the Jays are kind of lost because they're gonna have no one else to really highlight their team there. They obviously have a couple other decent guys, but no one else is too impressive on Team Canada.
Yeah.
Matt Brash is all right. He's a decent player, but
That's what happened. That's what happened last tournament. Freddie Freeman didn't get anything to hit because there was no one else in the lineup to protect him. So yeah, he got no pitches to hit. It was a tough watch.
and of course
It was a
Desan
tough
Brown
watch.
was recently, I guess, named as a Team Canada player. He committed to Team Canada.
Mhm.
He's a pretty nice prospect. We had a video on him or covering him a little bit today, and like you said, the coaches here: Paul Quantrill, of course, Cal's dad, Russell Martin, and Tim Leeper is the third base coach, who obviously a former
Yeah.
Blue Jays coach. He was a bit of a an interesting character over there, but yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be very, very interesting. Lots of teams, lots of exciting times. Mexico as well. They got some good guys over there, but I don't
The
know.
first game is tomorrow, actually. It's
Yeah,
Netherlands versus Puerto Rico. No, Netherlands versus Cuba tomorrow. So that's going to be a good game. The unfaithful one saying I heard Owen Casey's pretty good. Yeah, he's very very good. He's a top prospect in the Cubs system. I think he's top 15 prospect for them. He's a power hitting outfielder. They got some like pretty good players on the team. It's just they're young, they're inexperienced, and the best players just don't show up. Like Nick Pavetta's not there. Uh, James Paxton didn't show up. So there's all those guys. They want to stay healthy for their team, and it's not worth the risk. Like especially to play for Canada, a team that probably has no chance of winning the tournament. Why would you risk yourself for injury and mess up your season that you're about to have in the majors? So I
Rashid
get
saying
it.
She's saying just hope all the hits go Freddie's way so we can grab them. Yeah, if I were Canadian and the best player in the MLB, I wouldn't play in the World Baseball Classic. Too risky and not worth it. I don't blame anyone for not participating. Yeah, it's very weird that it's so close. Obviously, it's a tradition ever, but it's super close to the opening day. I know some people are complaining about that, or John Schneider may have been one of the ones that it makes it very, very difficult on the players and the coaching staff to I guess make decisions about it. And Vlad could play for Canada. Owen Casey's pretty solid. Vlad could play for Canada, he says. And Tim Leeper, the redhead, yeah, our former first base coach. Those were the good days, 2015, and
Mhm.
hopefully we have a replay of that.
Yeah, there were a lot of Blue Jays scheduled to play in this event, like Vladimir Guerrero Jr., Alejandro Kirk was another one. Alek Manoah had a chance to pitch for Team USA, but they all opted out. You know, it's too close to the season. They don't want to injure themselves. They want to get ready for a special year that's going to be coming up, and I don't blame them. It's the right call. It's the right call. It is very close to the season.
Didn't Tim Leeper get banned for something? I was thinking the same thing. I don't remember what it was, but there was definitely something revolving around
Let me look that up.
around Tim Leeper. Yeah, but World Baseball Classic, so it's different. Then Budzinski came in. Yeah, it may have been a just a change of pace. Make sure to hit the like button if you guys are enjoying this. But I think more players would be in if it was during the All Star break and the break was extended. That's an interesting. That would be an interesting proposition. Have it during the All Star break. Have the All Star break extended. Yeah, I could see that. Could see that working, or maybe just have it like a month earlier from where it is now, and or maybe even yeah, like about a month earlier, and just give people time to like,
I think after the season would be
yeah,
best.
probably.
Because then, like everyone can decide. You know, like, do I want to go home early or do I want to go to the world? Like, if you have it too like close to spring training, like before spring training starts, then I feel like guys wouldn't want to show up because they're not ready yet. You know, like they probably weren't working out vigorously all off season, and then they're expected to be in game shape like 2 months before spring training. It wouldn't make sense. So I think after the season would probably be the best bet if you want to get most of the players to play. But it's just like it's Canada and the US that struggle to get their players to come out. You know, obviously not this year with the U.S. They have Mike Trout
They got
and
everyone.
JT Realmuto and all those guys, but it's the Cubas, the Dominican Republic. You know, they get all their best players to come out because it's a big deal for them. I guess these other countries just don't make it as big of a deal. Like,
I think New Brunswick guy is saying I think they should play World Baseball Classic right after the World Series is over. Yeah, that's what Peter just said. That would probably be maybe even like a week or like a month or something like that. But yeah, right after the World Series. And then Mantis saying it would be amazing if we were at a different time, but I don't know when would be good. Baseball really is 24/7 because of the amount of games played versus rest and arm injuries. Yeah, I think at the end of the season would make the most sense for everyone involved and just give them the options. At the end of the day, it is your choice, and I feel like after the season makes more sense than before the season. But any final World Baseball Classic questions there? I guess Nick and Peter, what are the other teams you're cheering for other than Canada? Whew, I'll let you answer that. Probably the same ones. Just
I'm going with Japan and
yeah,
Puerto Rico.
I'm going
I
for
want I
Japan
want
as
to
well.
see that, and I love the talent that USA has this
Yeah,
year.
they're
I
gonna be fun
think
to watch.
they're they're going to be very fun to watch. So I'm probably going to watch all the games that I can. So I just want to see some intense baseball, which we usually get in the World Baseball Classic. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, it'll be U.S. are kind of like a super team to a degree, and then you have also Japan who are
Yeah,
unbelievable, and a lot of MLB guys obviously on USA. Richie'd say maybe group stages and All Star break and knockout after World Series. That would be very, very cool to have a few games in the All Star
maybe.
break. But then the difference is, I mean, I guess it's optional. So you'd have some people who want to take the break, some people who don't. It's always optional. Yeah, it could be very, very interesting. Spencer Horwitz's schedule will be playing with Danny Valencia, who's coming out of retirement.
Oh yeah, for Israel. For Israel.
Good
Yeah.
point, Davey Boy. That is a very good point. Yeah, he is. I read that the other day as well. Predictions for which team is going to win? I think Japan probably has the
What
best
about
chance.
Greece?
What about
Man.
Greece? We can go over.
No, Greece doesn't. Greece isn't in the tournament. He's
Yeah, I know.
trolling me. He's trolling me.
We could go over
No,
Venezuela.
I think Japan's gonna win it. I think Japan is the most slept on team. They have some pretty good hitting too. Like Masataka Yoshida, the big free agent that signed with the Red Sox, is gonna be playing with them. Shohei Ohtani hit 2 home runs today in an exhibition game. The guy is just nuts. So I feel like he can just carry them throughout the whole tournament, and if anyone's going to do that, it's going to be Shohei. So I like Japan and I like U.S. I think the Dominican got a little bit watered down now. Their lineup is still very good, but their pitching is not what it was before. So they don't have Framber Valdez, they don't have Christian Javier anymore, and those are two big losses. So how far can Sandy Alcantara take you? Because they don't have too many other options in their starting rotation there.
Matt saying got here late, but
Ani
I think
Cueto.
Japan is going to be a problem for everyone with the starting pitching. Yeah, we agree. New Brunswick guy saying I'm more interested in what's going on with the Jays in spring training right now than the World Baseball Classic, especially since they are showing more spring training games on TV this year. Yeah, we're still going to be having full Jays coverage.
Of
Don't worry.
course, of course. But they are showing every World Baseball Classic game on Sportsnet if you are interested. So, if you are a fan of baseball just in general, not just of the Jays, you'll love this tournament. I don't know if you've ever tuned into it before, but man, it's something special, especially those fans that come from Puerto Rico or the Dominican Republic. They are electric and they get into the game better than anyone.
Yeah, and I guess on that, I'll be interested to see which games will get higher ratings. Yeah, U.S. lineup is too good for me not to pick them. Yeah, the USA lineup is unbelievable. And I guess speaking about spring training, we can touch on that as well here now. We have the lineup, or not the lineup, but the stats for everyone who has played for the Blue Jays so far in this spring training. I'm hoping this is updated. I think it is. Um,
Yeah,
but obviously, you can look at all this, and Kevin Kiermaier has had a very, very. He leads the. I believe he leads the. Is that does he lead it? Yeah, he does lead spring training in OPS, which is not something I thought would have been the case coming into the spring training camp. But he leads it with a 1600 OPS. Of course, Relvis, he hasn't had as many at bats as the other guys, but he obviously hit that home run, which boosts that up. But do you have any other standouts here from the Blue Jays? I guess moving on from the World Baseball Classic for a bit here, but we've obviously covered a lot of these in the thing. You have Addison Barger hitting with a 983 OPS. There's so many players who are really shining so
yeah.
far.
Obviously, small sample sizes, but Yusei Kikuchi has really impressed me. So he's been very good. Yeah, Kevin Kiermaier, as good as advertised, probably even better so far. Hopefully, he can stay healthy in the regular season and keep that up, because he's going to be huge to the Jays' success all throughout the regular season. So I love what he's been doing. Aurelvis Martinez has been quietly like pretty good as well. And then there's just, I mean, they're leading all of spring training and all on base percentage. They're striking out the least of any teams. Yeah, Santiago Espinal is another name. So there's just a lot of players that want to get playing time and that are proving to the coaching staff and to the front office that they're not expendable and that they should be, top dogs on the team.
Yeah, and Otto Lopez is a guy who's gotten the most at bats, I guess, besides Kevin Biggio, which is another thing we'll touch on. But he's gotten 15 at bats and has 5 hits with 7 hits with 5 runs scored with a triple and with 3 RBIs. He's been unbelievable so far, and obviously we'll see him for Team Canada. But he's been very, very good. And then you look at obviously Bo Bichette, who's just always going to hit the ball. And Vinny Capper had that one crazy game, but I guess shout out to him. And when you look at Addison Barger, who he's hitting 286 with a lot of 983 OPS, which is good. And Kevin Biggio with the most playing time on the Blue Jays, and I think that might be foreshadowing what is to come. Obviously, Whit Merrifield, Danny Jansen, and Dalton Varsho are having pretty bad starts. Dalton Varsho especially, who has 16 at bats, and he obviously heat up in last game, but has a 485 OPS. I don't know if that concerns you at all. It's obviously spring training. Danny Jansen has only 1 hit and 12 at bats, which is even worse. But I don't know. It's interesting to see Merrifield hit, this poorly, I guess. He's 1 for 6, only 6 at bats, but Biggio getting 10 more at bats.
It's all about seeing these guys have good quality at bats, and I've seen that out of Dalton Varsho. Even though he only has a couple hits or 3 hits, I believe he's been, fighting off pitches, and he wants to see as many pitches as possible. He's not necessarily in midseason form quite yet, but I think he's going to be hitting in the middle of the order for the Jays. So I'm not worried about him. He's got a power swing. I think he'll figure it out. He's just kind of getting his feet wet in the Jays lineup, and I'm excited to see what he's going to do. I think he's going to have a phenomenal year.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm interested to see how Barrios is facing All-Stars every game in the World Baseball Classic. Yeah, I'm very interested to see that as well. That is that's one thing because obviously in spring training you don't play or you don't face great players all the time, so it's nice to see. Britton and Horwitz have looked solid at the plate. Yeah, obviously Britton had that one like, miss play in the outfield, but he's been very very good at the plate. And Horwitz is 25 years old, so he needs to pick it up at this point in time. And yeah, Matt said Espinal. Espinal's been very good. Espinal and Biggio have been outplaying Merrifield so far, but Merrifield has not been getting many at bats at all. So I wonder if that's indicative of him having the job secure or them still fighting it out.
Yeah, well, they're definitely giving more at bats to the guys that are not shoo-ins to make the team or are not shoo-ins to get that much playing time. So Espinal's got like I think 20. How many at bats does he have? 15.
I can check, but
Uh,
not many. Not or sorry, a good bit. Sorry, I'll have a quick look.
yeah, I think he's got like
14.
15 at bats.
14.
Yeah, 14 at bats. Same thing with Kevin Biggio, maybe 15. So so yeah, they're trying to get them as many reps as possible and seeing if they can carry some sort of hot streak into the season. Because with Merrifield, I mean, he hasn't gotten going, and we could see that a pretty good. He's a pretty solid hitter. So those other guys, you got to keep them in a groove. So I think that's what the Jays are trying to do here.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, at the end of the day, it's just spring training, but
Yeah.
seeing some of these guys, like especially Addison Barger, who obviously he's pretty far down the list, but has a 983 OPS, which goes to show against on most teams he'd be at the top of the list. And Winton Bernard's having a pretty good spring as well, but I don't know.
Mhm.
It's pretty exciting time, and obviously they play again tomorrow. I'm not sure if that game is televised or not.
It is. It is.
It
Yeah,
is
it is.
televised. Do we know who's starting for that game tomorrow?
I
I
am
will.
not sure.
I will check the app, but either way, we will be having. I love Biggio as the ultimate platoon guy. He can play first. Yeah, exactly, Matt. That's exactly right. And yeah, I don't think the starters have been released for tomorrow's game. Mitch Keller is pitching for the Pirates, but it's at 2:30 or 1:30 Eastern. Sorry, 1 Eastern.
It's it's at the Pirates facility, but it is on the Pirates network,
Okay,
if I'm not mistaken. I,
hopefully.
I think I checked that.
I love
I
Biggio.
checked that the other day, and I think it was.
Biggio is the ultimate platoon guy. He definitely is, and he's been playing very very well this spring, both on the field and of course at the dish. So I don't know. It's very it's pretty exciting to see him doing that well, especially um with Merrifield obviously not doing great, but especially just with him kind of the year where he needs to have a bounce back year, or else they're running out of room for him with all the other young guys who are very quickly rising to the plate.
Hold on, let me just see if
Yeah,
it's
you can check it.
televised.
But either way, we will be having the game preview stream.
It's on Sportsnet. It's on
Perfect.
Sportsnet.
So we will be having the game preview stream at 1 p.m. Eastern. I know a lot of you guys have been tuning into those, and we'll
Twelve
obviously
forty.
tw-
12:40.
12:40 is our, yeah, sorry, 12:40
Yeah.
is our game preview stream with the game being at 1 p.m. Eastern, and then we'll obviously have our post game reaction video, which hopefully we don't know who's starting. I don't know who would be in line to start. Maybe it wouldn't be Manoa or maybe
Says TBD.
maybe
Says
Gosman.
TBD.
Maybe it's Gosman's time. Maybe we see some Alejandro Kirk or Brandon Belt in the building. It's very very possible that we see one of them in the game tomorrow. I'm curious to see if Ricky Tiedemann's going to get back out there. He's only pitched one game. Obviously, his one game was a dominant outing, but I don't know why he's only pitched once. I don't know if you have any theories about that, but it's a bit
Well,
odd.
Pearson's only pitched twice, I believe, two or three times.
Yeah, two or three.
Yasser Zulueta has pitched twice. So they're easing all these guys into it, they're especially with Ricky Tiedemann, his workload was very low last season, so they don't want to overexert him in spring because I think they're going to try to ramp up his workload during the regular season. So maybe they just want to get him a couple of innings in the spring, which would make sense, maybe like 4 to 5 outings, but I wouldn't expect more than that. Like because he's not going to make the team, right? So you want to give as many reps to the guys that have a chance to make the team out of spring, as opposed to a guy that is going to start in Double A.
Maury Susu saying he's supposed to pitch tomorrow. Of course, supposedly Ricky Tiedemann being her nephew. Which, if that is the case, then contact and he's down for an interview. Then definitely contact us at.
Yeah, I believe it.
I do
I
believe it as
believe it.
well. Contact us at. I don't know if you have Twitter or email, Maury. I don't know what the best way to contact you would be. You can let us know, but we could. we have Twitter and email and all that. We can maybe get in touch and see what we can do with that because we would love to have him on, or even just even like an interview via text or something like that would be cool. I think Kikuchi is in line to pitch. Yes, I think Ricky T to pitch 2 innings tomorrow. Okay, Kikuchi last pitched 4 days ago, Matt. 3. I don't remember the last time Kikuchi pitched. I'm gonna look that up now so we can see. Kikuchi. Let me check. Kikuchi's last pitched on March 1st. Yeah, you're right. So that would make tons of sense. I would say I will ask him. Sounds good, Maury. We appreciate it, and then just contact. We're live we're live very often, so just you can get in touch if he says yes. But you say Kikuchi, yeah, he should pitch tomorrow. I think it'd be his 5th day. So if they're keeping him on every 5 days, which obviously they don't have necessarily do, but 4 innings of no run ball, no one hit, 4 innings for you say so far. But imagine Kikuchi pitched in the Baseball Classic. I would have loved to see that against. That would have been a great test. But we'll get to see Barrios at least.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, who else could possibly? Maybe Trevor Richards on a bullpen day. I'm trying to think of other options here. Maybe Zach Thompson is a possibility to
Yep.
start. Drew Hutchinson pitched
Actually,
the
no,
other
because
day, so
Zach pitched yesterday.
did he?
Yeah, which
Oh,
was
yes, he
weird because he
did.
wasn't scheduled
Yes,
to.
yes,
Jimmy Garcia was supposed
yes.
to, but they put
Yeah.
Zach Thompson in instead of him for whatever reason. Because he
Maybe
wasn't in.
Thomas Hatch,
Yeah,
which would be
I hope not.
unfortunate, but probably. I
Probably
mean,
Simber.
he'll probably get in there at
Simber
some
as well,
point.
I'd say. I think it's been a few days since he pitched.
Maybe. Yeah.
And then yeah, so Zach Thompson just pitched 1 inning. So people who won't be pitching tomorrow are obviously Bassett, Bass, Swanson, Barrios, and maybe we see Romano tomorrow as well. Obviously he pitched a few days ago, but I don't know. It'll be very, very interesting. Do you have any final thoughts, I guess, before we or final questions in the chat, or you, Peter, before we wrap it up?
No, I think we covered as much as we could today. It was a little bit of a slow moving, slow pace live stream, but that's
It
okay.
was
Just wanted to
late.
talk some World Baseball
Yeah.
Classic with you guys. Super excited for that tournament. Super excited for the Jays game tomorrow, and we're gonna keep you guys posted on everything that you need to know.
Love what I'm seeing with Kevin Kiermaier's running and hitting and fielding for that matter. Yeah, Nadi, he's been very,
Oh
very
yeah.
good. And he was one of my highlights of the spring training so far. We just looked at it. He has a 1600 OPS, which is just, I don't even know, obviously not sustainable, but he's finally healthy. So maybe maybe he'll be able to have a breakout year offensively, in which case the sky's the limit for him even at his age.
Yeah.
He still has all the tools. But yeah, that'll wrap it up. We'll hopefully see most of you here tomorrow for at 12:40 Eastern for our preview for the Blue Jays and Pirates game. We played the Pirates now the 3rd time, but Pirates and Blue Jays game, and it'll be interesting to see who. By the time our live stream is up tomorrow, we'll have the roster and of course who is pitching. So we'll be discussing all of that, and it'll be exciting to see how everyone ramps up. Obviously, whether it's for the World Baseball Classic or the season. But yeah, well, any final words, Peter, before we head out?
Thanks, guys. Thanks to each and every one of you that was in here today, and we'll see you tomorrow.
We'll see you tomorrow, Nathan. So excited for regular season. Let's go Jays. Let's go Jays, and hopefully they win tomorrow. Thanks, Mantis, for tuning in, and we'll see you all in hopefully tomorrow's stream at